Hello again, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are having a nice weekend. Thank you for joining back to watch this one. As always, I do have a number of interesting updates for this video. Of course, it's basically a reaction to Nigerian Super Eagles list, World Cup qualifying list that has just come out. We talked about that in the last video, and Finidi brought out the names that he feels can get the job done. Even though some departments like the defensive areas, we don't look very strong on paper. The way it looks, because a number of key players are missing. Ekong is one of them. Aina is also one of them, and we know that these players obviously were part of the team. They were in fact some very foundational players that solidified our defense in the last AFCON. Which obviously was one of the reasons why we were the team that considered the let's go for the competition. But again, these guys are not around. Ekong, Aina. So I took a little bit of time to try and see why some of these my key players were missing. Of course, what was going through my mind was the fact that okay, it's probably injury issue or fitness issue. But I still wanted to check to be sure that it's completely what's happened, or if there's anything else that we are not being told. Again, Coach Finidi released the list. He hasn't had time to have a chat with the media to talk about why he has omitted some of these players, which would have been nice, but we don't get to see him or hear him talk anytime soon. He was going to definitely talk in the next couple of days, but for now I did some findings, of course, and from what I've seen, it appears that injury and fitness issue and injury. I checked up on Aina, of course, one of the key players for Nottingham Forest, and only just last week he signed a contract extension, a 1-year contract extension with Nottingham Forest, which is a reward for a really good season that he had with the team. But Aina, it might interest you to know that he didn't play their last game of this season. Nothing was said. Espirito De Sanctis, their coach, didn't really say anything about it. Aina, missed that game. He wasn't even mentioned in the team sheet. He didn't even travel with them for that game. But luckily they won 2-1 against Burnley on the final day of the EPL games. So this obviously has sparked the reaction that he is probably nursing a bit of an injury, which is why he wasn't included in the list, because a normal Aina this season has played most of their games. He's like one of the first people that the coach calls to take up jersey for the first team, but he didn't show up for that one. Which is why I think he has fitness issues or maybe injury issue. But aside from Aina, also did a bit of checkup on Ekong. Ekong, of course, we know that he just came back from a really long injury, knee injury, thigh injury rather, and that took him out for several months. I think up to 4 months. 3-4 months, immediately after the World Cup. That's when he did the surgery, and then he was recovering. He only recently came back just before Pope finished the season. It was just two matches to the end of the season that he came back, but he was welcome. He started training with the team and was on course to play for Pope, to be available for selection for the next 2 games. But unfortunately, he wasn't selected to play in any of these 2 games that were remaining for Poke for their season. But he trained he had some little trainings here and there with the team, but wasn't selected for the game, which means he's still a little bit match rusty. He hasn't played a competitive game in several months, which is the reason why I think Finidi opted to allow him to rest and recover fully from that one. So that's probably why Ekong is frozen out from this. And then Bruno, of course, if you followed the channel, you know that one time I talked about the fact that Boavista announced that he's going to be missing the rest of the season, because of a knee injury that he picked up. But that's just what it is. There hasn't really been anything else said about it. But based on the reports, the man is still recovering from his knee injury, and he's not close to return at this minute. It's still going to take several weeks, before we hear any good positive things from him. But aside from that one, the young man is definitely having a great time in Portugal with his girlfriend. Even though he missed the call-up, he's definitely not missing these kisses from his girlfriend, Ines Fontes, a Portuguese influencer who the young man started dating over a year ago. His girlfriend actually, revealed in one of our Instagram stories that Bruno Onyemechi will very likely not be leaving Boavista, will not even be leaving Portugal because of the fact that he's happy there and that he has her and he has everything, and that he doesn't feel like going anywhere, that he's happy in Portugal. Emero is also someone that didn't make the list, and of course we know it's not like the first team player for several months now, but he's a good deputy. He's a good deputizer. He can come in and also bring that same intensity for that defensive line. And I checked up on him. The last time he made an appearance for his Kasimpasa side was on the 8th of May, which was last week Saturday, and his contribution in that game was very, very limited. He just played for 7 minutes, which goes to show you that he also might be struggling with some fitness issues leading up to that one. So this explains some of the reasons why Coach Finidi opted against calling some of these players, and also the reason why we actually saw the list being delayed before it finally came to light. But aside from that one, guys, there's a really, really sad update coming from Kayode Olarewaju, Nigerian Super Eagles attacker and former eaglet. This is not really nice. It's still a rumor because it's not been officially published by Kayode's family, so it's still a rumor pending when his family put it out. But the update is that the young man is devastated because he has now found out that his 3 sons are actually not his sons after he ran a DNA test on these children, and he reportedly demanded for DNA tests from his wife, barrister Ezinne Dora, after he had suspicions of her cheating on him. And with a pastor, actually, that's the crazy thing, And then, long story short, they ended up doing the DNA, and he realized that these children, these 3 beautiful sons of his, or the one that he thought that were his, are in fact not his children at all. And this man is in danger of losing millions, tens of millions of naira because of this issue, because the report is that his wife is also the woman that's in charge of his finances, his sponsorship deals, his endorsements, every single thing. He trusted her with everything, and right now it's come crashing at the ground because of this mess that has now erupted. This is definitely the worst thing that can happen to any man, trusting someone and then in the end they end up betraying you. But react to any of the stories, guys. That's the update for this minute. Thank you for sticking around for this one. Don't forget to like and share the video. Subscribe if you've not done so, and stay tuned for more updates until I catch you in my next video.